But I don't understand. Universal basic income can save people? How much money they're going to pay for them?
I think that depends a little bit on which country you're talking about.
No.
I think universal basic income is universal in the sense that it's universal maybe for a country like the Netherlands or the United States or even within a city. When they say, okay, everybody within this city, they're doing pilots everywhere around the world with universal basic income.
Your country, they paid, how much money you pay?
In my country, this is more a welfare system.
For pilot, you pay for 2,000 people, unemployment people, you pay money, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you pay. Yeah, I
Really?
read some article.
Okay.
I forget that how much did they pay. Actually, for example, my example, pension plan is one example. Example, they pay for me $1,500 a month. But recently, Taro Aso said it's not sufficient if you're going to have savings 20 million yen, Japanese yen, for your
Right.
life, but it's not sufficient, he said. So actually, I agree with him. It's not sufficient. Only the current pension plan cannot survive,
Right.
So what's going on? Okay.
And actually, $1,500 is much more than most people get in pension, right?
Yeah, a little bit, because my case is I don't get for my wife portion, but even though, not even if they're going to pay for the wife portion, but I think it's not sufficient for living for senior people. So what they're going to do? They cannot get new job, and how they're going to live up with that money? This is, I think, like similar to pension plan, basic income, right? If they're going to basic income or just like I told you, the Korean people, the government paying for Korean people with a job, a certain amount of money for life supporting plan. But this is the same. But what I think is, what's the objective for the basic income? Even going to pay money for the people, but this is not sufficient for their living. Anyway, they need to work, right? So, for example, actually, blue collar workers in the States, beforehand they got $50,000, now down to 25,000. Their salary is half. Okay, they can work 25,000. So you're going to government will going to support you 10,000.
I don't know whether this is really true though. That they really get much less than they earned before.
Yes, America is just Mexican people coming in, and their average salary get cheap lower. So basic income will going to fulfill the gap of their their salary decrease. Sort of objective they planning to. My question is,
I don't think there is.
Average half of their population 25,000. Okay, annual salary. So okay, we'll consider basic income. We're going to give you more upgrade your life level. Okay, the government is going to pay 10,000. Kind of sort of things they are planning to. Basic. What is the objective of basic income?
Basic income is make sure that people do not fall through the cracks. And let's have this discussion because the next video will be all about that.
Yeah. So next week, but just what is the objective of the basic income is?
The objective of basic income is to make sure that people who are losing out, who cannot, who are the losers of globalization or the losers of new technological revolution, of AI, robotics, IoT, what have you, to give those people, make sure that they have a livelihood, because as a whole society will benefit.
For example, the half of the American workers is going down from middle income to lower income position. So this is the objective of save for those people.
To make sure that everybody has a living and can have the time to find a new job or be retrained, and
looks like unemployment, payment.
well, they've done some tests with it, and the tests in itself were rather promising, because actually a lot of people were not unemployed. A lot of people did not spend.
For example, Japanese government, Taro also said, okay, not sufficient for the saving, only 20 million. I believe this is true, okay?
Mhm.
And the pension plan, they got money for certain amount of money every month, but they cannot live up with spend through whole their life. So they need more money.
Mm.
What are they going to do? What, for example, Japanese government try to going to do,
Mm.
or you can survive just only the 20 million saving amount of money, or less than 20 million. But Japanese what government planning to do?
The government already has spent all their money. They are big time in the red. I don't think they have a tax base to pay for universal basic income. Country like the U.S., I mean, still they have economic growth and
Or you mean Japanese they don't have money for
no.
paying for those?
No,
What government
they
going to do?
Good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't have the answer for that. I don't think they have the money to.
Like me, I have very hard to find job, So I need to consider for like personal business to start like programming or something else. Otherwise, senior member cannot get money. But usually, senior member cannot find any job by themselves.
Right.
So what government going to do? Social problem, right?
This is going to cause a lot of social problems, for sure.
Social problem,
Yeah.
right? Many people cannot work.
Poverty. Absolutely. I mean.
But this meaning that United States is a very similar phenomenon we're going to be prevailing, right? What are going to do?
I mean, basically, if we have like a base income in the United States, let's say $1,000, you cannot live over $1,000 in New York City, but you may be able to live in Alabama for $1,000 a month.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
possible. So people moving away from the cities and there will be.
Yeah, senior people. Somebody said from New York after retirement moving to Florida for the remaining life.
Because
So
lifetime is cheaper. We see it in Europe. People are moving away from Europe. They're trying to live in Thailand because in Thailand life is much cheaper. So they.
No, my friend moved to Thailand, but they are so boring.
Oh,
And if a person live in Tokyo, he move into Thailand, they cannot live there. It's impossible. So okay, if you're going to, just you said, okay, you can go into Okinawa for your remaining life,
Oh.
but many Japanese people live in Tokyo cannot live in Okinawa. Right.
let alone in Thailand. But actually, it happens a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Or people like it's very popular in Germany. A lot of rentners, people who live on.
What
on
are
welfare.
doing in Thailand?
I don't know. Chasing women, I don't know.
No kidding. Reading book.
Maybe. I mean,
I by myself, okay, I have no problem
mm,
because I'm studying all day, every day, right? But usually, majority people no study,
mm.
and they just looking. What are they going to do? No shopping?
There's no shopping, no. And there's no shopping in Thailand. There's nature, but yeah, maybe they're gonna hang out together and get old. I mean, if the alternative is living under a bridge in Japan versus being able to afford comfortable housing in Thailand, I would be sure to move to Thailand.
I agree with you. Okay, just American government pay you okay $1,000 every month. Okay, you need to move from Chicago to like some local state, right?
Yeah.
So
Nebraska. or something.
Nebraska. Yeah, maybe American people very easy to move the other location, but Japanese people we don't have a custom moving in the other place. Yeah, this business is centralized, and also American people easily to moving. Chinese people also easy moving around, but Japanese cannot. Right? They cannot move to Nagano, or they cannot move to Hokkaido. No, I can't believe it. What they going to do?
Well, basically, it comes down ultimately, if there is no money for them, then they have to. I mean, it's just like
Government no money, and but also government no money for pension plan for
Right.
next 20 years, right?
right. So if like what happened in Fukushima, people didn't want to move, and there's still some people who really insist on staying, living in that area. But there is no future, so ultimately, people are forced to move. It's not you don't have a choice anymore, and that could very easily happen.
It means we have serious problem.
Yeah, well, basically, people need to understand that it is really impossible to survive on Jumayan in Tokyo.
So we have big problems. So we need to consider for the senior elderly people how to survive. Right?
Yeah, it will be a very big problem if you don't have enough savings or don't have any savings. Then
Actually,
why do we see so many elderly people in front of construction places? I mean, they probably didn't have enough savings to survive on their pension payments alone.
Exactly. So
this will be a very big problem. And
okay, just back to the globalization. So our globalization proceeding on, the Japanese government said, okay, we're going to accept a certain amount of people will invite into Japan, right? And this is more open order. Lots more problem. Right?
Yeah, this will cause a lot more problems.
But additionally, AI and robotics and
cause more problems, more disturbance, more people who are getting dispersed. I mean, as a whole, we will probably make money out of that, like AI, etc. And we will actually be able to solve a lot of big problems about curing diseases, about getting more insights and solving a lot of social problems, a lot of economic opportunities for people who know how to utilize this technology and do good with it. But the reality is that a lot of people will lose out as well.
5 years later, we have no employment at 7-Eleven, right?
Right. I
America.
mean, this is very easy to see. No employment at 7-Eleven. I mean, maybe there will be somebody at the entrance who welcomes the guests. Welcome to our shop. Very nice. But there is nobody who needs to be at the cash register because everything is automatic.
No taxi driver.
No taxi driver. So there are just people there for service, just for hospitality.
So what we going to do?
Nothing.
So basic income instead of your
Basic income.
unemployment.
But basic income is relying on taxes.
But you
And
said
taxes-
Japanese government cannot pay for them.
No. We already spent our money in useless stimulus measures. Money has been wasted. It's,
This is coming soon.
yeah.
My case is very exceptional. I could study programming. I can get money, but usually senior member cannot get money.
So what if you, like, for example, what if you get sick? What if you start to develop a disease?
Yeah, my wife told me, what happened? I get sick. She asked me.
Right.
Exactly.
But it's a big problem.
Yeah,
And
big
the
problem.
older you get, the more chance.
Fortunately, my parents passed away already, but usually mother or father still survive. Lots of problems. Many people cannot go to work because they need to take care of them.
Right.
Right? My friend also sticking to their parents for take care of them. right? My age is 70s. It means parent 90s.
Without exception, they all need care.
So currently, problem is going to start already,
A lot of people are already in trouble.
and then IT going on.
Right.
More problem is coming.
Right.
Just the globalization the same,
Yeah.
and some people get a lot of money, but majority people they lose their job.
They lose their job. Their wages are not going up. Life around
Exactly.
is getting more
That's right.
expensive. The system doesn't take care of them. The system cannot take care of them because we're not paying taxes, so we're not funding the system. And because of the global financial system, which allows people to open up post office, mailbox entities somewhere in the Caribbean, and all the money is flowing through there, that means that we cannot tax them, which means that
Oh, you mean the Amazon?
Amazon, for example. Yeah. So these companies are not contributing to a solution, and that means that we as a society cannot benefit and not pay a base income, even though it would be, I believe, a superior solution to make sure that we maintain some kind of cohesion in this society.
Oh, that's the reason Abe Prime Minister said we cannot pay for Korean people living to Korean people paying money for them for kind of unemployment guarantee or so low level people. That's right. Takashi, today's discussion like that. Okay, we spent 4 hours for sort of discussion we did. That was very interesting. Just globalization is looks like every mass media globalization is very good, but this is not good. Very good. They have pros and cons. So we need to consider for globalism. Globalism is much more focused political issues, and we need to consider the problem is. Then we try to consider what the solution will going to be. This one we're going to discuss next week, right?
Yeah.
Solution.
Yeah. We're going to look at solution
And looks like a basic income will not be solution, and we have still lots of problems. So this is today's discussion we had.